You know, it's not like the politicians aren't exactly leading from the front.
No, Stormont's just a site, really. It's just a potential building site, is the way most people look at it. It's a shambles. Politics here has always been a shambles. It will continue to be for a long time, sadly. It's so archaic the way they talk, and they talk in the same sentences they've been talking about for 50 years, and they're not the conversations we should be having. And it's ultimately really damaging, I think. And obviously Brexit has called into question so many uncomfortable truths for people here, and questions about the very case of just how you identify has been just upended by Brexit and what's that doing. Suddenly all these people who all they care about is feeling British, or feel like they're undermined because they're not feeling British enough, and you know, it's a mess. That's not changing.
I know. Can you give any clues about your next career?
Massively so. I mean, I would get emotional talking about Derry Girls now and the whole finale of it. And I know Lisa well, and I must have sent, that's about the soppiest text I've ever sent anybody when I finished the last season of Derry Girls, to Lisa, because trying to tackle the nuanced complications of being from this part of the world at that time, with such integrity and such humour, is almost impossible. I don't know how she managed to do it. It's incredible and so poignant. And I think I actually don't think that show would have worked if it was set in Belfast. I think that slight removal from what was happening in Belfast and Derry was just lent itself to a more interesting take on the complications of this part of the world. So yeah, identified with it in a massive way. I think we all did, if you're from my generation, from this place.
Yeah, she really captured the positivity to become passionate about integrated education.
I just think the figures are too low. You know, less than 7% of primary school education is integrated. That's wrong. Is my true belief. I'm not saying it needs to be 100% or even 60%, but that's too low. I have a strong understanding of why there be certain fractions of society who'd be opposed to that figure being bigger, but I don't think taking kids at 4 years old and dividing them and deepening the idea of division and tribalism is the right way to go. So anything that can help that, I think, is a good thing.
And do you wish that you'd gone to an integrated school yourself when you were younger?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I felt lucky that I went to an integrated grammar school. That's shaped me a lot, I think. You know, it was funny watching the first years of Derry Girls, because I went to Fullerton, which was one of the prep schools of Methody, obviously predominantly Protestant. And we had very close alignment with St Bride's, which is half a mile up the road. It's obviously very Catholic, and we had to do a share centre up in Enniskillen together and do these sort of cross community things together, and all have a pen pal, and everyone had their own pen pal, and then for the most part we all end up at Methody together. But it was the Methody part that, you know, shaped me the most. And you know, Methody then was probably slightly more Protestant. I know now it's more Catholic than Protestant, but also had a big international community. I think the mixing of all those different elements, or even if it's two elements that we're talking about, just is a helpful thing going forward, to have a broader understanding of what it's all about, rather than, you know, as I said before, deepening the division.
Yeah, and I suppose Methody's not